threats forcing voters out of at least 2 polling places in New Jersey as residents across the state cast ballots for their next governor. And Mark Meredith is live in Montclair, New Jersey with the latest. Mark, what's going on?
Ainsley, Lawrence, and Brian, good morning, friends. The polls have been open throughout New Jersey since about 6 a.m. Since then, a handful of bomb threats have been called in to a number of polling places across the Garden State. We know in Mercer County, as well as where we have seen in Passaic. It's unclear exactly how many of these polling places have been impacted, but because the polls were open, since they've been open since 6, a number of people who may have been in line or getting ready to go vote had to move off-site to other voting locations, at least temporarily. We've been at this elementary school here, not too far from where some of these threats were called earlier, because this is where the Democratic gubernatorial nominee is going to be voting. Mikey Sherrill should be voting here around 9 a.m. I just spoke to her campaign. They are aware of the situation impacting some of these polling places. The candidate is likely to address this when she gaggles with reporters in the 9 a.m. hour. All an indication, though, again, that there is a lot of people very curious what will happen here in New Jersey. The spotlight has been on this race nationally, and we have seen this before in other elections. But these potential threats, whether or not it's going to have a widespread impact on turnout, it's unclear. More than 1 million people cast their ballots ahead of Election Day. There was early voting, mail-in balloting as well. Where we are also, I've seen at least one police officer who was outside the polling place earlier. Unclear if it was related because the candidate was going to be here or if they were just checking things out. A lot of these threats are often communicated electronically, either email, they get sent to the registrar's office or the voting records office. And then out of an abundance of caution, these facilities are either evacuated or they pause operations to let the police do a sweep.
Hey, welcome into Courageous Media. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate everybody rolling up on Deep Blue Election Day. We've got big elections in 3 deep blue states. We've got the New York City mayoral election, we've got the gubernatorial election in Virginia, and we have the gubernatorial election in New Jersey. Now, can Republicans flip any of these? Of the 3 right now, the one that seems most possible is for Republicans to actually flip New Jersey red, which would be unprecedented. It would not be the bellwether that Harry Enton hopes these elections will be. It's absolutely amazing to see what's going on. And of course, right on schedule, here we have Democrat dirty tricks. We have bomb threats in precincts, at voting locations in precincts in New Jersey. And where are those bomb threats? Are they in deep blue Newark? Are they in Hoboken? No. They're in places like Montclair, New Jersey. They're in deep red districts within New Jersey. So of course, you have to shut down polling locations. You have to move people around. They are expecting Republicans to show up en masse in person on Election Day, as most Republicans do. And just like they did in Arizona and other places, they are trying to foil that vote. Why? Because they are deeply scared in New Jersey that this could actually flip towards Ciattarelli. And why? Because Ciattarelli is a real American. Ciattarelli is a real working class guy from New Jersey. He is not a Mikey Sherrill Marxist Democrat. But check this out. We're going to check out another story on the bomb threats, and then we're going to get into what Ciattarelli's doing on Election Day. I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Thanks so much for being here. Please let us know you're here in the comments. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. All right, here we go. Let's dive in to these bomb threats because they are in Republican favoring precincts. Here we go.
Out of abundance of caution, some of the polling places were temporarily.
Hold on one sec. All right, here we go. So this is what I want you to see.
Either closed or suspended as they moved voters to different locations and some of the facilities. We got a statement from the Attorney General of New Jersey. I want to put it up on the screen for you. It says, law enforcement officers have responded at each affected polling place. Some of these polling locations have already reopened to the public. The polls in New Jersey opened at 6 a.m. sharp.
So here's what I want you to see. It's now been confirmed that there have been multiple bomb threats, and they have been received in 7 different New Jersey counties, all of which are Republican leaning on Election Day. You'll notice there are no bomb threats anywhere in deep blue. There's no bomb threat in Camden. There's no bomb threat in Hoboken. There's no bomb threat in Newark. No. All the bomb threats were in outlying Republican counties. They are trying to thwart the vote. That's the only way they're going to win this thing, I believe, is to actually rig it. The only way they're going to win is to cheat. And we've already got evidence of that happening in New Jersey and in New York. We're going to check that out at the end. But first, I want to get into this because this is a real possibility for Republicans in New Jersey to overcome all the shenanigans and actually put Ciattarelli in the governor's mansion. Why? Because Ciattarelli actually connects with people. Unlike Cheryl, who's just she's nothing more than a Marxist talking head who spouts the Democrat talking points. No. Ciattarelli actually connects with people. I want to check out a couple different videos that I thought were absolutely amazing. Here, he's talking about sanctuary cities. Here we go.
Taxpayer to have this policy.
Absolutely. But let's not forget, since Donald Trump took the presidency again, illegal crossings are down 99%.
Okay.
And just as he has secured the border, it's my job to secure New Jersey, and we do that by getting rid of sanctuary city, sanctuary state policy, which only encourages illegal immigration. We shouldn't be doing that.
All right. I say plus tax.
So I love this about Ciattarelli. So he is all in for deporting the criminal illegal aliens. He is going to work with President Trump. He will allow, if need be, President Trump to call out the National Guard to support ICE operations. He will get rid of the criminal illegal element in New Jersey. And it'll be great for New Jersey. And it'll be an absolute contrast to what is happening in New York, whether Mondami gets elected or not. New York is a deep blue sanctuary nonsense. And it's going to be a huge contrast to what is happening in New York City, especially if Marxist, communist, jihadist, Islamist Mondami gets elected. And we're going to talk about how they're going to be doing that in New York. But before we get into that, I got two more videos about Ciattarelli, which I think just show who he is, the kind of person he is, and why this is a real chance for Americans to flip New Jersey red. Check this out.
Gender ideology in school whatsoever, let alone to our elementary age children. Governor Murphy ushered in these ridiculous standards years ago, and we fought as parents and were not heard. So we continue to fight the government overreach. Our rights come from God, not from the government.
So you told me that a lot of people in New Jersey are aware of this issue. They're not talking about it as vocally.
Well, they're afraid to talk about it because the second you touch this issue, you get called names. You get, separated from your community. I think speak out. You need to speak out more about these issues that are affecting our children. Gender ideology is very dangerous, leading children down a dangerous road.
All right. So your thoughts on that? What do you say to somebody like that?
What I've been saying all along. We're getting back to the basics in our public schools: reading, writing, math, civics, science.
Okay.
And we're getting rid of other sensitive subject matter that I believe belongs at home at the kitchen table between parents and the kids.
All right.
And that includes, we could talk about New Jersey diversity, but we don't need an LGBTQ curriculum. My opponent said not only will she keep it, she won't allow parents to opt out of that lesson.
Yeah, that's really wrong. Crazy. That's crazy. Let's get
absolutely 100%. That I think is one of the biggest issues in this election. Not just the fact that Cheryl is pushing the LGBTQ nonsense in elementary schools, but she has stated publicly that parents will not be able to opt their kids out. You will be stuck with LGBTQ propaganda ideology being shoved down your third grader's throat. And this is absolutely unacceptable. And one of the reasons why New Jerseyans, I'm not even sure what they're called, but people from New Jersey are looking at Ciattarelli and going, you know what? I may not like Republicans, but the other side's just flat out insane. And so this is the second reason. The third reason is I think people really connect with Ciattarelli. Check out this video. This is great. This is heartwarming. This is, I believe this is today. It was either today or yesterday. Here's Ciattarelli at a campaign event at a bar in New Jersey. This is just awesome stuff. I give this the awesome sauce. Check this out.
You know why, Jack? Come over here a second. Okay. Because this is an honor for what I'm going to say right now, that you don't know what I'm going to say right now. But your biggest supporter that serves this country just came over overnight to serve you.
Who's here?
Jake, your father, your son.
That is awesome. So Ciattarelli's son is, I believe, a captain in the U.S. Army serving in Kuwait. And they allowed him to fly over to support his dad on election day and basically, I don't know, serve him a beer, serve him breakfast. But that is awesome. And that is the kind of person that Ciattarelli is. And that is why he is garnering broad-based support within New Jersey. And it is possible that in a state that voted plus 10 for Biden, and even though it was only like +7 it was in the single digits for Kamala Harris, it is possible that they elect a Republican governor for the first time since Chris Christie. This is amazing stuff. This is awesome. Now, I want to show this. So we got this, there's some polls that have been breaking, but this one I think will help paint the picture. All right. Remember that right now, the Cheryl advantage, according to the RCP, according to all the pollsters, which we know they're all doctored, they're all fake, but she is +3 in the polls. But remember, 2021, the last gubernatorial election, Murphy in the polls was +7.8. The actual voting results was Murphy +2.8. They were 5 points north on their polling average. 5 points north puts Cheryl underwater. So if that trend holds true, it is absolutely possible that they could flip New Jersey red. And they're already seeing huge turnout results in Cumberland County, I believe. Between the last election and this one, Republican voters are up +10. The turnout is amazing. The Republican counties in New Jersey have to hold the line. The turnout has to be amazing to make this thing happen because they are absolutely trying to downplay turnout, and they've absolutely tried to rig this thing with mail-in votes and illegals voting, as we're going to see in a minute. So please, if you live in New Jersey, get out there and vote. Make it happen. Gary Goose, really appreciate you rolling up to Port All the Invaders. Absolutely. Feather Fawn in the house. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Please smash that like button for me. Subscribe. Turn on the notifications if you haven't already. All right, now let's get into New York because socialist, communist, Islamist Zoran Mandami has been running around basically saying he's going to give free stuff to everybody. He's been trying to coax the ill-informed, the stupid vote. He's been trying to coax the young vote, people who don't even really know what socialism means. And he's been trying to entice them with free stuff. He's been enticing them. Basically, he's been running on a stool of 3 legs. One, primarily TDS. He is 100%. He has run the anti-Trump campaign in New York. And because people are ill-informed, they don't realize that Trump's not on the ballot. So he's run TDS on one side. He has run free stuff on the other side. So TDS, free stuff, and, oh, by the way, I hate Israel. The Free Palestine movement. So he is trying, and the last 2 legs of that stool are designed to get all of the young, underinformed voters out there for him. And it has been working for the most part. Now, check this out, because there's a problem with his free free stuff leg, and that is he can't deliver on it. It's impossible. Why? Because Hochul's already said she's not going to allow him to tax the rich into oblivion. Check this out.
She hasn't endorsed all your funding plans yet.
No, but she has said that this is of immense importance to her. And what I've said time and again is the funding plans I've put forward are the ones I think are most straightforward and direct. And also, if there's another means by which to raise the funding, the most important thing is that we actually fund this thing.
She hasn't endorsed all your funding plans yet.
No, but she has said that this is of immense importance to her. And what I've said time and again is the funding plans I've put forward are the ones I think are most straightforward and direct. And also, if there's another means by which to raise the funding, the most important thing is that we actually fund this thing.
She hasn't endorsed all your funding plans yet.
So
no, but she has.
Kathy Hochul has basically said she's not going to allow him to tax the rich into oblivion. It's not going to happen. And so there's no way that he can deliver on his promises. They've all been lies from the get-go. He's lied about his family members being afraid on the train. He's lied about basically everything from his campaign. He's lied about the fact that he's never had a job. He's grown up in wealth and opulence. And so now it's possible that these chickens are going to come home to roost. We'll see. We'll see if they can pull this thing off in New York. But one of the ways they are trying to win these elections, not only here in New York, but also in Jersey and in Virginia, is this thing right here. I want you to check this out. They're going to try to rig these elections, and how they're going to do it primarily is with mail-in votes, mail-in vote fraud, and specifically around illegals voting. Check this out.
They sent me here to vote. I was recommended to come here to find information to vote.
Oh, you register?
Sorry?
When did you register to vote?
I did not. I didn't sign anything. They just told me to come here to vote.
Okay. Vote too. Okay, but
Halloween, and the only thing scarier than all the ghosts and the goblins and this rain this Halloween is a possibility of illegal aliens voting in our elections for mayor. Just like
Let's be clear. It's not a possibility. It is happening. The only question is, to what extent is it happening?
last year, James O'Keefe encountered a man in New York City who ran a church called La Jornada in Queens.
Hey, this is you.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez was allowing illegal aliens to sign false documents to help them live in this country illegally and bypass the law.
What I found most odd is that Pedro Rodriguez would keep telling me that I did not reside at an address that he personally signed the letter saying that I resided at.
I encountered this man once again 1 year later. Same name, different address, same blue shirt, same tie. I encountered this man posing as an illegal alien, telling him I was new to this country, I just got here a couple months ago, I was not registered to vote, not a citizen, but I wanted to vote in this year's election. And what does he do? Like clockwork, he springs into action to help me.
Yes, I'm an immigrant. They sent me here to vote. I was recommended to come here to find information to vote.
Oh.
I was given those locations. I will show you. Forgive me, I am no Espanol.
No, English is perfectly.
Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Pedro Rodriguez.
Pedro.
No pleasure. Yes.
Miguel.
Good. You register?
Sorry?
When did you register to vote?
I did not. I didn't sign anything. They just told me to come here to vote.
Okay.
And he tells me to go to a local community college just around the corner to go vote in the election for mayor.
That's close, right?
Just across the street.
Across the street.
So this is how they're going to try to do it. They are in New Jersey. They've got bomb threats at deep red election polling places, and in both states and in Virginia, they are allowing illegal aliens to vote. Maybe not in Virginia because you got a Republican governor there, but certainly in Jersey and New York, they have people like this that are actively funneling illegal aliens into voting places to vote in these local elections. And that has to stop. That cannot be allowed to persist. But that's how they're going to try to steal this thing. But I think we've got a real chance. If you live in New Jersey, if you are a patriot, if you love America, get out there and make sure that Jack Ciattarelli gets elected as the governor of New Jersey. And let's put a nail in this whole 2026 midterm nonsense. Let's make sure everybody knows just how despised the Democrats are. Now, along that same line, let's get into our next story and one on our thumbnail, which is the whole snap government shutdown situation and the fact that President Trump is 100% doubling down on the need to use the nuclear option. And as we get into that, as I pull this up, Lena, I wanted to highlight your comment. This is absolutely true. It's absolutely amazing. When you look at SNAP benefits and so many of the benefits that illegal criminal aliens get, American citizens are either last on the list or aren't even on the list for getting $15,000 EBT cards. And for SNAP benefits, they're 11th on the list. This is absolutely true. This is why, as we get into our next story, we need to pass laws that essentially say, if you are here illegally, you get nothing, not one thin red cent of government support or handouts. If you are here illegally, you are gone. You have two choices: leave or get thrown in prison. There are no government benefits. And that's why the only reason I will support Donald Trump in his quest for the nuclear option is to make sure we pass things like that, such that if you are a state that gives state benefits to illegal criminal aliens, you lose all federal funding for everything, because there's no way that we can allow them to backdoor federal funds into their state giveaways, like California has been doing by basically defrauding the federal government, pumping up the price of ambulance rides to $3,000 so that they can give health bennies away to illegal criminal aliens, and then turn around and bilk the government on a 50-50 plan for a $3,000 ambulance ride, which only costs the state government $500. So they're pocketing $1,000 that they then give away to illegal aliens. It's essentially a giant grift, and that has to end. So with that, I want to get into this. We're going to start with Steve Scalise, who is talking about basically the dissolution of SNAP benefits under the government shutdown and the fact that Democrats have voted over and over again to make people go hungry. Check this out.
Democrats opening up the government. It's real straightforward. You vote yes or no. You vote yes because you want to put food on the table for 42 million low-income families. But if you vote no, maybe because you're afraid of some radicals in Portland or San Francisco or New York City, when you vote no, you are taking food off the table for 42 million low-income people, the least among us who need that help. 6.7 million going without the Women, Infant, and Children program funding. WIC program is really, really important, again, to very low-income people who need that help. Democrats have no problem shutting off that funding, causing that suffering, and to use their term, because they think they're getting some kind of leverage. We still don't know what the leverage is for. They're trying to leverage the American people, and they can't even articulate what it is they want. Yeah, $1.5 trillion wish list of crazy items like free health care for illegals, gutting a rural health care fund. Is that really the leverage they want to use the American people for?
This is what Democrats have been voting. And again, welcome into the Courageous Media Show. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. Please smash that like button for me, subscribe, turn on the notifications. This is what Democrats are all about. They have been using Americans receiving SNAP benefits as leverage. They don't care about you. You're nothing more than a human shield to them. And this is absolutely egregious. It's egregious that there are illegal criminal aliens who even get these benefits. But now that the federal government, via the Democrats, is shutting them off in order for the Democrats to try to get $1.5 trillion of giveaways to their donors, $800 billion in perpetuity every year to insurance companies because they're big Democrat donors, and hundreds of billions of dollars for healthcare for illegals. None of those things can happen. And fortunately, the Republicans have held the line and said, no, we're not going to allow it. It's not going to happen under our watch. And so, which is why President Trump is starting again to double down on using this option. But just like Steve Scalise, I want to show you this clip because it's Scott Jennings absolutely people on the ridiculous Abby Phillips show. And it's beautiful to see. Check this out.
Look, I voted against the CR because the CR wasn't going to take care of people's health insurance. Health care was going to go up. I didn't vote for that CR. Scott might remember Republicans didn't vote for the CR previously, the same CR in different years. In fact, Republicans removed a Speaker of the House. We forget about that because he put a CR on the floor. So,
but you did vote against the SNAP benefits, then you admitted.
I did not vote against the SNAP.
If you had voted
benefits.
for the CR, would we have SNAP right now?
Scott,
we would.
Scott, what I voted for was a CR that.
Exactly. You voted against SNAP benefits. You can say, well, I voted against healthcare premiums going up because I want $800 billion to go to my crony buddies in the insurance companies as direct payments from the Federal Reserve. No. By voting against the CR, you voted to take away poor people's food. 100%. Way to go, Scott Jennings.
But Scott, what I voted for was a CR that was going to see people in Florida have their health insurance go up almost 100%.
No,
I got
these are separate issues.
No, I got 25,000 people in my district that are going to lose their health insurance because this CR didn't have.
And how many do you have going to lose their SNAP?
Okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about SNAP for a second. Why did the Republicans send $40 billion to Argentina? Where is that money, Scott? Why
It's a
didn't that
credit
go to
swap.
Americans?
You know
Why?
you're
That's
being
America
dishonest.
first.
It's a credit
That's
swap.
America.
We're gonna turn a profit on
That's
that.
America first. We're sending money to Argentina rather than taking
It's a
care of
credit swap.
people's SNAP.
And Scott Jennings is absolutely right. Moskowitz is a complete moron. Now, the $40 billion to Argentina is exactly what Scott Jennings said. It is not money. We are not giving them aid. It is a credit swap that America will make a profit on. So no, this is not even close. You cannot conflate the two. You've got Moskowitz basically saying that, oh no, I only voted against the CR because my constituents' health coverage, Obamacare, plans are going to go up in price. Yeah, because that's the actual price of Obamacare. The only reason they're artificially low is because the government is subsidizing those to the tune of $800 billion a year. And by voting against the CR, you voted for 42 million people to go hungry. And it has nothing to do with credit swaps to Argentina, which are not federal payments whatsoever.
I would have loved to have been at Mar-a-Lago while the girls were in the martini glasses when they were trying to figure out what to do with the judge's order. Half the room was probably like, should we pay it? Should we not pay it? And then someone was like, oh, I have a great idea. Let the subjects only get half their rations. I mean, they're only going to give half the SNAP benefits to these people.
How many have the Democrats
Scott.
voted to give?
Scott,
Zero.
look at the polling.
Democrats have repeatedly voted to give zero of SNAP benefits. I'm sorry, this is not. This whole thing could have been averted if Democrats had done what they did in March, which is vote for Joe Biden's budget levels. They have refused to do it. A couple of Democrats in the Senate, like John Fetterman, have shown some courage and backbone. But the bottom line is this party is enthralled to the radical left. That's why they've changed their position from March until now. And that's why people are not getting their SNAP benefits. It's why federal law enforcement isn't being paid. It's why Trump's having to scramble to pay the military. This is a Democratic shutdown because of political.
Start to finish. It is a Democrat shutdown. Yes, Scott Jennings, 100% owning Moskowitz, the complete deranged TDS knucklehead, right on live TV. Now, he's absolutely right. We've gotten so far, I think there are 3 senators, and that is because I'm going to show you this clip. Speaker of the House Johnson has basically said they're starting to bypass Jeffries and Schumer. They're trying to go directly after potential Democrat senators that might say enough of this nonsense. Check out Speaker Johnson on that issue right here.
Evidence speaks for itself. So we're going above the heads of the so-called leadership, and we are appealing to the consciences of a handful of people in the Senate who want to do the right thing and just stop the pain for the American people. And we pray that today is that day. Maybe time for the longest shutdown in history is something that they can claim as some sort of success. But it's sickening. It's sickening to see a political game being played. We're not playing a game here. We never were. Back on September 19th, to remind you all again, we passed a clean, nonpartisan CR that's 24 pages in length, had not a single Republican priority on it. Why? Because we did it in good faith, because we didn't want this eventuality to occur. We knew it would be too painful for the people, and that's why we've always done the right thing, as everyone has said over and over. Now they won't, and we all know why. Yes, sir.
So looking back, we probably should have just passed a CR that was loaded with Republican stuff. I say that facetiously, tongue-in-cheek, because then it actually would have been a Republican shutdown. No, they passed a clean CR. And all the Democrats had to do was say, okay, we're going to vote for that, and then we can negotiate these Obamacare subsidies if we want to try to elongate them, which the Republicans should say absolutely hell no, not on my watch, absolutely not. But we could at least talk about them. Now, meanwhile, we got Trump. Trump is now doubling down. He's had enough of this. So check this out, because he had a lengthy social media post about this very issue. And he's going back to the well on the nuclear option. I'm going to read this. We probably won't read the whole thing, but I wanted to get you a feel for just how the fact that Donald Trump is doubling down on getting rid of the filibuster. The Democrats are far more likely to win the midterms and the next presidential election if we don't terminate the filibuster, the nuclear option, because it will be impossible for Republicans to get common sense policies done with these crazed Democrat lunatics being able to block everything by withholding their votes. For 3 years, nothing will be passed, and Republicans will be blamed. Now, he's not incorrect on that. To a certain extent, yes. If we pass nothing, if the Democrats simply block everything, nothing will get passed. Will Republicans get blamed? To a certain extent? It's possible. But remember, they are not the media anymore. CNN, PMSNBC, or BS Now, whatever they call themselves, ABC, CBS, NBC, they are not the media. Only 20% of the people watch them. Everybody else is getting their news from alternative sources, which can very well tell them that, hey, this is a Democrat issue. The reason nothing is passed in Congress is because Democrats are obstructionists. So it may not be fully blamed on the Republicans, but still, we will have lost an opportunity. Elections, including the midterms, will be rightfully brutal. If we do terminate the filibuster, we will get everything approved like no Congress in history. We will have fair, free, and safe elections, no men and women sports or transgender for everybody, strong borders, major tax and energy cuts, and will secure our Second Amendment, which the Democrats will also terminate immediately. If we don't do it, they are far more likely to do well in the upcoming elections, which would mean a packed Supreme Court, 2 more states, 4 more Democrat senators, and 8 more electoral votes. Remember, Republicans, they are going to end the filibuster as soon as they get the chance. We know this because they already tried. And the 2 people who didn't go along with it are now out of Congress. That was Sinema and Manchin. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin are no longer in the Senate, and they were the 2 that blocked the Democrats from eliminating the filibuster last time. So he's not incorrect in this. Now, I don't disagree with him on this, and I would be open, as much as I don't want the filibuster gone, because when we are out of power, I want Republicans to be able to be obstructionists like they were in Joe Biden's term, and at least the most insane stuff didn't get passed. But if we eliminate the filibuster, I will only support it if we do 2 things. One, he's got to go make sure that we have the Republican votes for everything in the agenda, including for federal elections. It is in-person only, paper ballot audited only. No machines, no mail-in, no nothing. In-person audited paper ballots only for federal elections. States can do what they want in the states, but for members of Congress, members of the Senate, and the presidency, paper ballots only, in-person only, and audited. So we do that. Next, yes, pass the entire agenda. Make sure we secure the Second Amendment. Make sure we pass a law that says it is a felony to be in the country illegally. A felony, punishable by 20 years in prison and or immediate deportation. And make it very clean and streamlined to determine if someone is here illegally and get them out of the country with no judicial review on that. And then also to say that no one gets 1 thin red cent of American government money if they are here illegally or if they are an immigrant of any type. If they are here on an HB1 work visa, no, you do not get government benefits. If you cannot afford to live here on your HB1 visa, then go home. You don't get government benefits. The only people who get government benefits are U.S. citizens. And with the possible exception of people who are here as permanent residents who are in the pipeline to become citizens. But other than that, nobody gets anything. So if you can make sure that you have all the votes to pass the entire agenda, then yes, get rid of the filibuster. I would not disagree with that. Now, in the meantime, we've got Republicans are trying to get a couple more Democrat senators over the line. We've gotten up to 3 now. Check out Mark Wayne Mullen as he talks about this on Fox News.
After they went to the rally, they realized that their base was only more dug in. So now what the Democrats are literally telling us this, they plan on opening it back up probably Wednesday or Thursday after the election, after they elect a communist in New York to be the mayor, after the New Jersey's gubernatorial race, after Virginia's governor's race. They're going to come out. They're going to look for an exit ramp because they know they're losing. Shoot, even CNN's polls are showing that this isn't good for them. The American people have already been exposed to, Congresswoman Clark by saying that this is a leverage point for them. You had Chuck Schumer say every day is getting better for them. You had Senator Coons from Delaware goes out and says it's uncomfortable, but it's a leverage point. And even Bernie Sanders goes out and says they can't open it back up because they lose leverage. But they also know they need an exit ramp. So after the election, Kellyanne, they're going to come out, and at that point, They're going to go out there and rail that they're going to take the high road. They're going to try spinning it on President Trump and the Republicans. And after they get done talking their way out of, I don't know, themselves, they're going to eventually open it up probably Thursday, I'd say midday.
So that's very interesting. Now they've gotten 3 Democrat senators to vote for the CR. They only need 4 more. So we'll see if Mark Wayne Mullen has been talking to the right people and if it's true. Either way, what do you think on eliminating the filibuster or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Thanks so much for being here. President Trump is all for it. I would be all for it if they basically sit down with the leadership of the House and the Senate and say, do we have the votes to pass everything in the agenda? Because unless you are going to basically guarantee that the Democrats never win another federal election without cheating, then don't do it. But if you can pass an election bill that basically says that we audit every vote, they're in person, they're paper ballot only, so they can't get illegals to vote, they can't cheat, they can't ballot harvest, they can't do all those things, then yes, because then generally the Democrats will never win Congress again, at least not in our lifetimes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. Please smash that like button. Leave a comment for us. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like the content, please share A Courageous Media with everybody that you know. Remember, God is good and He is sovereign. It'll all be good in the end. Till I catch you next time.